The only licensed printing machine in South Africa is out of service again. This means further delays in driving license renewals. Back in January, it was reported that the machine had gone for repairs in Germany, leaving millions of drivers without their license cards. I'm just seeing a tweet from Fikile Mbalula, the Transport Minister, this tweet coming in last night just before 6 o'clock, where he says the driver's license machine is up and running and the 24-hour shifts are being planned to meet the demand and to kill the backlog. All right. So let's bring you the latest on this. We're joined by Outa CEO Wayne Duvenage via our video link this morning. Wayne, good morning. Thanks for coming on so early. I'm not sure whether you saw this tweet from the Minister. He's now saying that the driver's license machine is actually up and running. What do you know?
Yeah, we don't know, but we must take his word for it. I didn't see that tweet, but nonetheless, it was, we gathered the machine was down 2 weeks ago. It had been down for 2 weeks, so we first hear about it a lot later. But I think the real question is this machine is very old now. The new machine and the budgeting thereof and in their annual plans has been in those plans for the last 3 years, and nothing has happened. This is a very, very old machine. We should have been a long way down the line and probably operating the new machine by now, which has new security features in it. And yet here we are, still to this day, having to deal with an old machine that keeps breaking down and creates more backlogs and so forth. So we're pleased that it's fixed and up and running, but when's it going to break down again? Yeah,
absolutely. That certainly is what people are saying in the replies to the Minister's tweet. I mean, as far as I understand it, when this is the only machine, because it's so old, it's the only machine of its kind still operational in the world.
Yeah.
What do you know about the delay in bringing that new machine online?
Look, we don't know. All we do know is that there have been a number of requests for proposals and tenders put out, and then they've been withdrawn. I think this has happened, if I can recall, 3 times in the last number of years. And you've got to ask yourself why. Why is it? Because we've spoken to organizations that have put in these tenders. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. You have to get the specifications. You have to get quotes. These machines come from other parts of the world. And then those requests for input and proposals and tenders are then withdrawn. And that's very frustrating for organizations to have to operate in this environment. We don't know why it's taking so long. Every year we wait. The costs of these machines goes up. The rand gets weaker. And we really need the department and the driver's license card account to get moving on this. It doesn't take long. It's not a big decision. It doesn't need cabinet's approval. It does need, integration with Home Affairs systems possibly and a few things. But really we need to move on. And I think this is a sign of a department that is inept. It is not doing its job properly. There's so many things that are going wrong in the Department of Transport. The driver's license machine is just one of those. And it will continue. And it's become quite a debacle.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, what are the implications here for this kind of situation to happen over and over? Like if we get to a stage of just such a massive backlog in driver's license cards and renewals, what does that amount to, you know?
Well, it amounts to a lot of costs. You see the minister talking now about 24-hour shifts to get the backlog up. That's a cost to society. We have to pay for those costs. There's going to be a lot of overtime and extra work done. So I think not only that, the frustration on citizens who now have to wait for their licenses to be delivered later. Now they have to either go and get another temporary license, because we know what happens with the traffic police when you have an expired card. They make a meal of it as well. It really is a tough situation. We don't need to operate in a country that is so inefficient. And we have put it to the minister a number of times at our research. You know, one of the things that will assist here, and it's not the only reason why we want the extension of the validity period of these cards to 10 years, but it will certainly cut down the number of driver's license cards required by half if it's extended from 5 to 10 years. That will alleviate the pressure on the department, the pressure on citizens, the costs on citizens, and we can all move on. And this research has been done. The minister said that they would have their research completed by the end of April, and by the middle of the year we would hear from him. Well, it's now nearly November. We know nothing about this plan to possibly extend the validity period, as it is applied in many countries around the world, 10 years and even longer. So here we are again, waiting and waiting and waiting.
Indeed. Wayne Duvenage, let me thank you for your time this morning. I'm sure many people will agree with you out there that we do need that extension insofar as the validity of our driver's licenses are concerned. Wayne, thanks very much indeed for coming on.